Welcome to All About TRH, aka All About the Truth. On today's episode, we cover hot topics including the latest Real Housewives firing and recap Summer House. Hi, Chantel.
Hey Roxanne.
Happy Friday.
No, I'm grumpy today
I,
because
it's
as I look
snowing.
out and record, it's like snowing like crazy, you guys, and it's supposed to be spring here.
Well, I mean, it's just been bipolar weather where we've had like all of February was actually really decent weather. That's not normal for Michigan, okay? So then all of a sudden it's snowing like crazy today. Usually my kids have snow days, but thank God the school didn't catch on that it was gonna snow like this and
Yeah.
my kids are in school.
Like
So
I woke up and I was just like shocked. Like if you saw the look on my face, I was like like I thought I was in a different universe.
I like don't leave my house. So for me it doesn't matter. But my husband dropped the kids and he came back and he was like, "Oh God, that weather looks really bad." Or he's like, "That was really bad." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." But yeah. Chantel, did you hear about a firing?
No. Oh, I did. Wait, I think so. Like are we talking about Beverly Hills firing?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So it looks like Bravo does not play with Beverly Hills because it is their most successful franchise. So they're already getting into let's cast, let's cast. I know the reunion just came out, let's cast. And Anne Marie has gotten fired. Anne Marie has
Fired.
gotten fired. She it's so crazy because you know what, Chantal? After the reunion, I kind of felt like maybe she did deserve another chance, but then I still have PTSD from how she acted at BravoCon.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think she didn't fit, but, when she wrote she wrote a letter on Instagram, and I felt
Yeah.
bad for her a little bit, but, that's just the nature of the games, like, sometimes you come on and you try to give what you can, and it just doesn't, like, connect, and it didn't fit.
It kinda sucks because she does basically blame things on production a little bit. This is what she said. She said, "I got word today that I will not be returning to Beverly Hills. To say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. I never auditioned for the show. The show found me and asked me to be on it out of the blue 6 weeks after the cast had already started filming." That's interesting. She said, "I was thrown into filming 2 weeks later, mid season. I was very excited about the opportunity. I thought following exactly what I was instructed to do throughout filming last season was the way the quote game was played. Listening to what I was instructed to do was my rookie mistake. What I am disappointed about is that the fans never got to see the real me or even a glimpse of my unique story. Contrary to what you see on the show, I am not obsessed with the esophagus. What I am is a woman, a proud Black woman who is truly blessed with a wonderful, strong Black man as my husband who lifts me and our four wonderful children up with so much love and positivity daily. She said that it was important to show the true black love exists in Beverly Hills. You know, she does say my struggle with losing my mother to lung cancer within weeks of taping and my struggle with adoption trauma, what was going to be, still will be a new life journey for me to find my biological parents, all of which was taped, was never shown last season.
Wow.
Yeah, she says a little bit more, but she says, like, "Until we meet again." But it is crazy that they did film that stuff. I think, honestly, during the season, she wasn't well received and she talks a lot, that they were like, "Let's take this out. It doesn't even matter." And I think that production knew she was like a one-hit wonder,
Oh, 100%. They for
or
sure
they would
did.
have or they would have showed these stories, but I
Or do we
just
think
feel like
Or do we
yeah.
think that what happened with her husband, all all the stuff that was going around with
Yeah, there was,
him,
like, rape allegations or
yeah,
something.
they
I'm
were just like
sure yeah.
they were like, why should we show him being like a loving husband and like father right now? Like they probably were just like erring on the side of caution.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially because she wasn't well received on top of it. So there wasn't that many wins with her. All I know, and we've talked about this, is at BravoCon, she wasn't introduced yet. And you guys, you would have thought she was on the show for 10 years. She
Yeah.
talked more than anybody on the stage. She's a confident person, but she's also, I think, very unaware. So it was like it was too much because everyone's like, "Who are you anyways?" And she would just talk over everybody and act like she was so famous and has been on the show for 10 years. And it was like, okay, anyways, can you let the other ladies talk? I want them to answer the question. So she gave off weird vibes at BravoCon. So I'm sure based on that, she's so disappointed, so down that she's not coming back.
Yeah, because like, especially what she said, like, she's like, "I, like, was listening to exactly what was told to me." So,
Yeah.
like, clearly she's, like, saying that production kept telling her, "Bring up the esophagus, bring up the esophagus, fight with Sutton," and she, like, did everything that they told her, and then, like, look what happens.
Well, what production will do a lot of times is they'll say, "This is really boring. You should bring up this," or "What are you gonna bring up?" And there's like that pressure to bring it up and stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. She did it. Didn't work out for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure obviously like drinking was involved, so you have like balls to like talk more about stupid things while you're drinking.
Oh, for sure.
So, also Chantal Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan, they broke up again and it's for good.
Yeah, I do see that this time it's for sure gonna be for good. Like, there's no
It
way that you're gonna break up a couple times in the news and then go get back
Yeah.
together.
What's so crazy is she had sex with that man allegedly 5 times a day, and that still didn't keep that relationship going. For
I
real
mean,
though.
there was so many, like, not even red flags, but, like, just, like, potential problems from the start. So it's like, it's not that shocking.
Yeah, no, I mean, we all knew it, but the way that she portrayed it and then the separation anxiety, I'm telling you, the separation anxiety came from the fact that she was scared for him to be alone with other women. It wasn't because of anything else. Eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready to eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Also, there are more than 60 add ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals. I will say I've used tons of different food services, and this is my favorite because it's convenient and easy, and I don't have to wash a bunch of dishes after I make everything. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast premium options with no cooking required. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. Head to factormeals.com/TRH50 and use code TRH50 to get 50% off. That's code TRH50 at factormeals.com/TRH50 to get 50% off.
Addie. Ladies, did you know that one of the most common complaints from women about their sexual health is a frustrating low libido? Our sex drive can decline, but it's also treatable. Addie or flibanserin is FDA approved and has been clinically proven to increase sexual desire in certain premenopausal women who are bothered by a low libido. So if you feel like you've lost your desire and want to get it back, stop falling for the snake oils and ask your doctor about Addie today or go to Addie.com. That's ADDYI.com.
Addie is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addie is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addie dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addie at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addie even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addie. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including box warning at addie.com/PI or call 844-PINK-PILL.
Ask your doctor about Addie today or go to Addie.com. That's ADDYI.com.
Yeah. I think for her, it probably was, like, a big deal that she finally liked someone, for a while now, that, like, she truly liked someone, called him her boyfriend. So, like, she probably, like, forgot how that felt
Yeah, maybe.
and was like, "Let me keep him," and she, like, was clearly obsessed with him, but
Yeah. Also, Karen Huger of Potomac got charged with a DUI. She was stopped by the police department at 11:50 p.m. and officially charged with driving a vehicle while impaired by alcohol and driving while under the influence of alcohol. She does have a mandatory court appearance, and that's kind of crazy.
no, no, what's crazy is that, like, the way when Shannon got charged with DUI, like, the amount of, like, uproar happened, and then, like, right now with Karen, like, it's like crickets. Like, no one even, like, is saying that much. But like it's like you guys at this point, it's like why are you guys drinking and driving? Like you're a public figure. No one should be doing that. Like get a damn Uber. You have the money to do it, get a damn Uber.
Well, the thing that happened with her that was a little bit different is when it first came out, it just said she got into a really bad car crash. Everyone was like really concerned. And then it said she was allegedly driving in an aggressive manner very fast before the collision and that she was also drinking. She ended up making a statement after the incident and said, "Thank you for all the prayers and well wishes during this very frightening experience. I am still in shock from last night's incident, but grateful to be alive today. With the passing of my beloved mother, grief comes and goes in waves, and with Mother's Day approaching, it has felt like a tsunami." Oh my gosh.
Oh,
You guys,
okay.
Mother's Day is in 2 months, though. I don't
I don't mean to
know.
laugh because that is really sad, but oh my gosh, Karen, just say you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, we have all the resources, so, I don't know.
And it's like really crazy. Well, and I think the reason why Shannon was also crazy is like we actually got the footage, and when you see something that like see the actual footage,
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit.
And
But
so much was happening with Shannon. It was like a whole downfall.
yeah,
So
and like
did
she
you
really is a drinker. Where like Karen,
Oh,
like we don't.
exactly. Like, yeah, you barely see her drinking.
Yeah, like Karen's not
So
someone that
maybe a
really like.
lot was but still,
Yeah,
like, don't get in the car.
yeah.
Where's her man, dude? He's, like, sleeping at home. Uh, so did you watch Summer House?
Yes.
Okay, and I heard you watch The Valley. We don't have to go into it, but because it's a first episode. First episodes are a lot. What did you think overall of The Valley?
It's not bad, like, it's not like I was like, "Oh my god, hanging on to, like, the edge of my seat here," like, I was, like, watching it while I was cooking and stuff, so, like, I liked it, like, I do like the new people, I think they all like, some of them are hot messes, like Jesse, right? Is it Jesse?
Yeah, they're already separated.
No way!
Yeah. Yeah, you could
Wow,
tell
like, yeah.
from a mile away that that was gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, like, you could see the disconnect.
Oh,
But it is
yeah.
crazy, like, it scares someone like me when they're like, everyone's like I mean, I know this, like, oh, you guys all say, like, "Oh, your relationship changes when you have kids," and, like, I know that, but it's like, when you, like, are watching it, you're like, "Oh my god."
It really does, 'cause, I mean, there's just, like, the pressure. It's like a contest. Who's more tired? Who did more? You start, like and then there's, like, that resentment, so you really have to figure out your dynamic, and that's why I also think when you have kids, like, it really does take a village. I know people with their first child, they're so territorial and that's fair. Okay, that's fine. I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, "Who wants to hold my child?" But, I think allowing people in helps, like, at least, like, I mean, I have 4 kids, like, basically back to back, so, obviously, that the reason because it does take a village, I have, my mom at the end of the day. I know not everyone has someone, but I do think that also adds stress when you don't have help and stuff, like, to just, like, run, like, little errands or whatever it is, and
And,
then
like,
there's
they
the
all, like,
pressure
live
on
in,
the
like,
relationship.
LA. Yeah, and, like, they all, like, live in LA,
Yeah.
and it's like, I doubt any of their parents are really there.
Yeah, well, Sheena's moving to the Valley, and honestly, I think the Valley would make way more sense with Lala and Sheena in it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, like, they are moms, and, like, I'm sure they do wanna show a different side to them, and, like, they do
Yeah,
wanna show that side, and it's like, I would like to see that
yeah.
from them since we, like, have already invested, like, 10 years of our lives with them.
It would just make the most sense. Like, what's going on with Vanderpump Rules? Like, I feel like they don't even fit in it anymore.
Yeah, and, like, you do see, like, Brock and, like, Sheena like, I mean, I know you didn't even, like, watch last episode, but I did end up watching a little bit of it, and, like, you see Brock getting so mad, he's like, "We need to be on a schedule," and she's like, "There is no schedule when you have kids, like, we're not on a schedule," and, like, they were getting so mad at each other, I'm like, "See,
They
this
have
is
a
what."
lot of disagreements, those 2,
Yeah,
about
and I'm
how
like,
to
"This would
raise.
be." But, like, no, they were like they actually, like, to me, like, fight healthy because then right away they were, like, laughing, and it was, like, cute kind of, but I'm like, "This would be good on the Valley, not on Vanderpump."
Yeah, that's true, but she also doesn't like, she has a hard time leaving her kid with anybody. Again, it's her first kid. I feel like once the second kid comes, you're like, "Oh, okay, anyways." It was cute that I was like, "This is my first," but with your second, it's, like, impossible to be sane and be like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I like it, you guys. The ratings were over 700,000, which is incredible ratings. That, like, beats, like,
Yeah.
Potomac,
Yo, Jax is gonna get to 3
Miami.
head.
Yeah, it beats all of those, so that's incredible. Hopefully it keeps up. I just feel like it's relatable, so, and just seeing even if you're not a mom or a dad, like, I still find it to be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm not, and, like,
Yeah.
I still like to see it. I mean, Kristen, like, we get Kristen back, and, like, you, like, get to see her life. She's just, like, so funny sometimes, that
She's
one.
chaotic, that one. She's all over
Yeah.
the place, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then, like, yeah, so I'm excited to see the dynamics of, like,
Yeah.
how it turns out.
So let's talk Summer House, though. Yesterday was a new episode of Summer House, and it was okay. It wasn't like anything, it was still good. Like I still like watching Summer House, but it begins with Carl calling his mom. And I wanted to ask you what you thought about him calling his mom to vent his frustration about, how down he's been with how him and Lindsay are communicating. Do you think that's a good idea? What do you
Yeah, I
think?
think sometimes, like, once in a while, you should, like, give the lowdown to your parents, and I think with this, though, she kinda, like, was like, "Has this been happening?" So, like, that he doesn't go back and tell her all the time. So, I think, like, that was, like, the first step of him, like, kind of, like, acknowledging that maybe there
Yeah.
is a problem in this relationship, and maybe I'm not gonna go through this marriage because, like, he felt the need to tell his mom. So, like, he was kind of dropping breadcrumbs to her.
I think it's okay that he vents to his mom because his mom seems like a cordial person. So she doesn't hype Carl up or make things worse. Because there are
Yes.
moms who will be like, you know what, honey, you're just better than her. You can't do this, like let him. And his mom seems like the mom who's like, figure it out on your own. Like you're going to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, no, what do you mean? My mom would just right away be like, "You're the one that's in the wrong. Go kiss his ass." I'm like, "Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh, why did
God.
I tell you?"
Our moms like choose, especially your mom, but they choose our husbands over us like any day. And if they even see us acting like a little bit out of line, which to them anything is out of line, they'll literally be like, oh my gosh, like don't act like that. They're scared like our
Which
husbands are
is
going to leave
so
us.
ironic because they are the devils to their husbands.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
what?
terrible. They're so terrible, especially your dad. Like he doesn't say a word and she like runs that man.
Exactly, and so it's, like, so funny that she, like, will tell me, like, if I ever say, like, "Oh," I never even once told my mom anything, but, like, let's say I did, she would, because 'cause I've seen it with my sister before, she will literally be like, "It's your fault, go say sorry, and, like, go, like, make sure it's alright," and we're like, "Okay, we're not telling you anything ever
The
again."
worst thing is when we tell our parents stuff because when we tell our parents stuff, they like use it against us and then they won't stop bringing it up.
Mhm.
They're not like a Carl's mom.
Yeah.
They just like agitate you even more that you're like, I immediately regret, whatever. I told my mom 2 days ago that I got into like a little argument with my brother. We'll get over it. Like I'm going to see him this weekend. I told my mom that, right? Yesterday she's at my house. Okay, so I told her like 2 days ago, and it, like whatever. And yesterday she's at my house. She's like, "So have you talked to your brother?" She's like, "Are you still fighting with him?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I literally just told you like." If it wasn't anything, and then I like immediately regretted that I even told her because I just don't want that, and then she's making it more like intense than it was.
Yeah, it's like she's, like, making it seem like they're so much more in a fight, and she wants a tea, and it's like, "Okay, sit down."
Yeah, no, it was yeah, and it was, like, over, like, something with, like, his ex-wife, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh," like, the drams, but yeah, like, me and him are completely fine. I'm about to have a baby, like, we will get over it, But I was like, this is why I don't tell you," because like, it's been 1 day and you're asking me if I'm still fighting with my brother, making it, like, the most dramatic thing ever.
And, like, or, like, now she'll go and tell him too, so it's just like, "'Kay."
Oh, I know, and he'll be like, "You really went and told mom? Like, you're so extra." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I know." I was like, "We must have been, like, bored sitting down or something that I brought it up." Anyway, so Carl just wants to, at the end of the day, have a fun night, and I don't blame him because he's been having such a shitty experience. But I thought Chantal the camping was such a cute, fun theme, and the ladies, to me, their outfits, and even if it's, like, basic, they always deliver. Like, with every theme, they always deliver.
Yeah, I was, like, always saying, like, if we ever get stuck on, like, what theme we should do for, like, a party, it's like, just go watch back, like, all the summer houses, and
Oh my
we'll
gosh, I
find a theme right away.
swear.
They're
That's
so
so
good with
true.
their themes.
Why did I cover my eyes when Sierra and Wes kissed?
I
Did
don't
you not
know,
see
'cause
that?
yeah, like, it's just, like, it's still fresh and new, so we're not, like, and, like, and
It
then,
looked
like,
like
the
an
sexual
awkward kiss.
yeah, like, the sexual tension wasn't, like, really building up because they've already, like, dabbled into it right away, so it's like, yeah,
I
I can
don't
see that
know.
being awkward.
I like them together though, but I don't see this being anything outside of Summer House.
Yeah, I can we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how I feel yet.
Yeah. I was dying when, they're all like sleeping outside because that's the whole point of the camping thing. And Amanda's like, don't, I'm too hot. Don't touch me.
She's like that's like the epitome of like the marriage, like
I
someone that's
know.
in a marriage for a long time and then you see the other one's kissing and she's like, "Don't touch me."
Yeah, because I did a rewatch of Summer House and, Amanda was a booty call for a little bit. So like, and then so she was constantly having sex with Kyle. And then now like she's always like, don't touch me. Ew, gross. Well, let's go to sleep. Like you never see them have sex ever, like the last 4 seasons.
I know. You know what? Because we'll talk about it towards the end of the episode because they do bring it up. I do wonder. Like, she didn't say her number, but I do wonder if like they do, and like if it's like, or if they said they made a conscious effort not to do it on camera anymore because like they don't want that. Like, it's weird, you
I don't
know?
think they give a shit about that at all. If you're gonna act drunk and out of control on camera and you've already had sex multiple times on camera with like a
Yeah.
blanket over you, they don't care. It actually feels weird, by the way, with Paige not being here this specific weekend.
Yes. I
I
like
miss
missed her.
her.
And me too. And I, like when we started the episode again without her, I'm like, wait, can we like hurry up and be done with this weekend? Like, there's nothing else in
Yeah,
this weekend that I care to see. Like, let's go to the next.
exactly. Carl and Lindsay are in bed and he apologizes. And I feel like Lindsay can never accept an apology because he'll apologize and then she'll be like, but I don't even know where it came from. She seems to drag every single argument and it's exhausting.
Yes, because like like, oh my god, because this is what like I hope I'm never like this. He
Yeah.
apologized and she's like, "Yeah, I just don't understand." It's like, "No, no, he just apologized. There's no re-talking about it. Just say thank you so much. I apologize for my thing." And she just like could not do that. She had to make sure he was aware of what he did again that
Yeah.
got her to be mad and got him to apologize.
He makes all the appropriate steps to make things better. And then she just kind of drags him down.
She's something else. Like she
She
really like
really
this
is.
girl's in therapy all the time. It's like, what are you doing in there? Because
Yeah, get a new therapist at this point because I don't know what they're teaching you or what they're advising you because you're either not following or you're just, I know she has abandonment issues and all that stuff because when I did that rewatch, like I got a refresher, but she is always doing the most and it's
She just
exhausting.
she needs to first of all, they're not a match, okay? That's one. I
No.
think that like they're just not a match. And then two, um, she needs to take an accountability class. I think that's what she needs. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah.
helpful.
Jesse wants to see a night that Carl and Lindsay don't fight, and Jesse asks Carl if Lindsay ever apologized for accusing him of being on drugs. And Sierra thinks that it's hard to witness her make such Lindsay make such a strong accusation because of how far he's come. And I agree with Sierra. Sierra makes a good point that Lindsay wants children tomorrow. And she thinks about her childhood and how her mom walked away because she didn't want, the kids to grow up in that toxic environment. And her dad drank and like all that stuff. And Lindsay drinks and she's just like, why would you want to bring kids into this world when your relationship is like this?
No, I like that she said that. Like, oh, you guys, all of these things are like planting seeds in Carl's head, which is like a good. I think that's a good friend to do though, because it's like you're
Yeah.
not telling him like don't get married, but you're literally saying like, are you sure? Like, especially Jesse. Like Jesse's this new guy. He's very upfront. He's very concerned. Like he's so
Yeah.
concerned, and he's like,
He's like, is
and
this
like
what it's like to be engaged?
yeah, and he's like, holy, and he just like sees it, like he sees what's about to
Yeah.
happen, and he's like kind of like letting him know, like, like, did she apologize? Did she not? Like he was like straight up asking the right questions. But we
Yeah.
skipped over a scene about Amanda and Kyle and like their like her wanting to move to New Jersey. What do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I did mention that in the end when they talk about the houses, but I understand it. I mean, we'll get into like what Paige is paying and stuff, and I mean, if you want to stay in New York, the closest to you is New Jersey. I mean, at the end of the day, Chantal, when we were in New Jersey, I remember before we hung out with Jennifer Aiden, we went to New York to get her a cake. And then, like, it was crazy because even when we were in Hoboken and New York were like literally 20 minutes from each other. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most realistic thing ever because the amount that you have to pay to live in New York is not worth it as a family.
Oh, 100%. And
Unless
like
you're like walking to their downtown area and you have a job there.
yeah. And, it was just funny though, because like, I mean, it's like, "I need the sunshine." I'm like, "Girl, New Jersey's not sunshine, but okay."
I know, like New Jersey. Well, New Jersey has literally the same weather as we do. And then I just remember in Hoboken, it was so windy that I was like, this is even colder than Michigan.
Yeah.
So Paige, so we see Paige and she wants to get a two-bedroom where her king size bed can fit because as we all know, New York apartments, it's teeny tiny. And we find out that Paige is paying 8,500 a month for her apartment and I could never. 8,500.
Even, like, Craig is like, "What the hell?" But what's crazy is that, like, remember when they were all, like, clowning on Lindsay and Carl for paying 12,000? It's like, you're not that far off.
Yeah, that's so true because at least
And,
it's like
like,
2
2
of them and
people. Yeah.
yeah, so they would have split that 6K, 6K and you're like paying 8,500. Wow, I
I
never
was
thought about
baffled.
that.
Yeah,
I never
I
thought
was,
about
like, thinking
that.
about it because 'cause I'm like, "You guys, like, had so much to say." Um,
Wow, yeah,
and,
that's
like,
so
it's like,
true.
we don't know. I mean, maybe obviously, maybe Paige, they know Paige makes more money and, like, whatever, but it's like, you're paying a lot of money for your apartment too.
8,500, I'm sorry, that's not okay.
No, that
And
really is
her
insane. That's like
apartment does look
quadruple.
nice, but it's like so small, so
She literally has,
no.
like, a small little island and then, like, it's probably 2 closets and then
Yeah,
2 bedrooms. Like, that's crazy, you guys.
yeah. So Paige is bringing Craig, and when they get there, they talk about the apartment costs and talk about Paige going to an apartment that looked the same size, but that cost 12,000. And Lindsay is so direct. She asks Craig, "Well, would you contribute?" And he says he would pay for the remainder that is outside her budget, but Paige doesn't want that.
Yeah, like, see, these are the moments I'm like, "Paige, like, just give him a little bone, like, give it to him, like, it's okay." Like, if, if you got, like, a 10K apartment, like, you can cover that one day. Like, if you guys, really did break up, you could cover that, like, you're fine.
I just think, it's crazy because he says he's willing, but he doesn't know what they're doing. And this man just wants to marry her. And I just feel like she's in a different place. I don't know. She's like, she thinks, time is, she's always going to be this. I don't know. Cause it's like, if you
It's
have a good man, if you're in love, you're, she's in her 30s, like it's the perfect age. There shouldn't be this much, questioning.
What made me so happy is, like, when we see the conversation between Kyle and Craig, and, like, Craig's mindset has changed. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like from 6 months ago from Southern Charm or whatever. Like, he is finally saying, like, "Listen, like, my patience will run out, and, if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen." Like, he's finally, like, taking that, like, you know, like that shift of, like, maybe not to scare her, but just to realize it for himself and saying, like, like, "This is where my mind is," and I hope that does scare her a little bit because you can lose your man right now.
Well, the difference is and he even points out, he said, "I've never felt better. I actually love myself. I'm at peace with where I'm so." Obviously, this business that happened in Charleston has made his confidence go through the roof where he's a confident man now and he wasn't before. So he loves this version. He says that he has become the best version of himself. And if they don't work out, if they work out, they work out. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world, which I appreciate him being a realist about it. He says he loves Charleston. She loves New York. And also, she's not ready to get married. He's at a different spot. I don't think either of them would ever be unfaithful with each other, but it's a timing thing.
Yep.
Relationships are about sacrifice. So Craig has been patient, but he says the patient isn't going to be forever. And can you imagine flying back and forth like they do? I would die.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like him saying that though, like, finally, like, putting his foot down a little bit, might give her the push that she needs, but, I mean, maybe not though, because this was filmed last year and, like, we're already a
And
year
they're still
later, and
together.
yeah, and they're still not engaged or married. So it's like,
Yeah.
and, like, it's kinda scary because, like, in this moment, they're talking about, like, her new lease, and, like, that's like signing another 1 or 2-year lease, so you know that she's gonna be in New York for that long.
Yeah, exactly. So we find out that Carl really wanted to skip a Friday night, but we find out the real reason was because he wanted to avoid fighting. So Kyle tells the boys that he heard Lindsay and Carl at their apartment sleep separate, and they just have such a problematic relationship. But do you think Kyle should have been gossiping like that?
No, but, like, you know what? This is a problem though, is that when you open your when you like even when they were all giving Carl advice that one day after like the spin class, is that when you fight in front of people, you open the door for everyone to have an opinion. So like
Yeah.
because you do that, and like I think that's what we talked about, Craig and Paige like are smart about not like it's like they have a pact not to fight in front of
Oh,
people. And
100%.
so it's like, because they've seen it. So it's like, if you're gonna fight in front of people, you're giving everyone the opportunity to talk about it. So at this point, like like everyone knows what's happening, everyone's concerned. So it's like, he's just telling them what he's heard. But I think
Right.
as being Carl and Lindsay's like longest friend, maybe he should have just like held that back. Um, Especially because if
But
they did like end up getting married.
yeah. Well, when Lindsay is getting ready, she says that Carl isn't a sexual person and that she is. So she tells Paige and Amanda this. She says they are having sex once every couple of weeks. And I died when Paige says people lie about the whole sex stuff because it's so true. Paige gives an example and she's like, when people say they haven't had sex in a couple of weeks, that could mean actually you haven't had sex in months. And I do think that is true. Or you could be like a Larsa where you say you have sex 5 times a day and it's like, girl, so I do think no matter what people exaggerate and it's just not a good sign at all. She says that
No, that's you're year 2, like, I'm sorry, that is not a good sign. Like, you're engaged, you're I mean, engagement, like, maybe towards the end, like, I can understand you guys are, like, getting nervous about things, but, like, especially because she is such a sexual person, that is not okay.
well, he is too. Like watching back, I was like, holy moly,
But he was on
he
drugs.
yeah, that's so true. And he was
But you're right,
drunk.
maybe, like, maybe he would be more sexual to a person that's, like, more loving and he can approach, but, like,
Soft.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he, like, not gonna get a hard on for you when you're
And he's,
yelling at
like,
him all the time.
agitated. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so true. Paige is like, "We have sex every time." And I'm like, "Paige, you also, like, live away from him, so you obviously every time you guys see each other,
it's
the
easier,
weekends that you
yeah,
do,
like
it's
so, like,
way
for
easier."
them, it's like she probably, like, has it, like, 3 times every, like, 2 weeks or, like, like, whatever, but I
Yeah.
don't know their schedule, but, like
Amanda's like, "Oh, don't tell me. We've been together for 10 years." But she does say, "At the point of our relationship when we were 2 years in, we were having sex, like, every day."
yeah, and we saw that.
Yeah, literally. But it was crazy when she said that Craig doesn't even not Craig, I'm sorry, Carl doesn't even initiate sex, according to Lindsay, but I feel like I take whatever Lindsay says with, like, a grain of salt.
Yes, no, literally, like, it's like, I don't even believe you, Lindsay.
I know, I don't
Except that I
either.
believe that you guys don't have sex that much.
I know, I mean, I believe it, but, like, does he not initiate? I don't know, I feel like he's making all the appropriate steps, and then she's just trying to villainize him.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, exactly. Like she's I think it's cuz like it's to protect herself. Like she always tries to put negativity on her like partner, and it's like not a good
Yeah,
trait to have. Like you need to learn to uplift him
yeah, absolutely.
and he'll initiate.
Yeah, I agree. So, but please don't ever say you were blindsided, Mama. You were. There's no way. There's no way. All the signs were there. You
I mean,
probably didn't
they're
think that
fighting a lot, but like I wonder if like he ever say like or should we be getting married, Like so maybe
right.
like that's where the blindsidedness
I
comes
just think
from.
she never thought he would follow through because, like, everyone already paid for everything, and she's
Yeah.
like, "There's no way you're gonna end it." So I'm blindsided because everyone paid for their trip. Like, we're doing a freaking destination wedding, and it's like, no, but he still he canceled that. You guys, he had balls, but better he do it now than when they're married.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Another thing that was so funny, sorry, because like I really clearly I was like having the TV on and I was watching the after show of the Vanderpump Rules. That's how I saw that Sheena scene actually.
Okay.
And the after show included Jax and Brittany in it. And Jax was like sitting with like the Schwartz or the Toms. But anyways, he was like, he's like, I think that this law needs to change. He's like, I think you get married and then after 10 years you have to go back to the court and say you want to continue the marriage or you just want to like not
Oh my
continue and then yeah, and
gosh.
he's like, and then you don't get a divorce. You just go through your life. You like happen that nothing like that happened. It's not like divorcing. You only get lawyers. And everyone's like, and like Schwartz like, yeah, like like he
Oh
was
my
very passionate about
god.
this new system. I'm like,
Okay, well, Schwartz is like, "Yeah, you didn't even last, like, anywhere near 10 years,
I
so
know,
bye,
so, like,
boy
exactly, but, like,
bye-bye."
maybe like, yeah, it was just really funny, though. I'm like, "Oh my god, these boys."
I mean, like, Brittany also knew. There were all the signs. Like, the reason, again, I did a rewatch of Vanderpump, something's wrong with me. But, and Jack's like, he had a come to Jesus moment when his father passed, and he was like, and Brittany was there for me. She was there for me. And so I feel like, that that's what pushed him to marry her. But I mean, there were all the signs for Brittany to be like, this is probably not gonna, you're probably gonna go through quite a bit in your life.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you guys, this time next week, I might be having a baby. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, tell Roxanne to like take a few days off. Maybe I'll do a solo episode, y'all.
Oh, that would be great, Chantal. I would love for you to do that.
I will. What do you mean?
No, I know.
Y-
So really do it.
yeah, I know. Like you don't have to like come on. Like take your time. Take your time.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
I know. We shall see. Let's see how I'm feeling. I'm usually the type as soon as I get home, I'm like running up the stairs, like doing laundry, all that stuff. So hopefully the fourth one stays like that too. Like where
I
I'm
know, but
like,
you have like 3 other kids to take care of. But we'll
I know, and
see.
then my kids are gonna be on Easter break, the following week. So I'm gonna have like this newborn and then all my kids, and I'm gonna be like, oh my
And it's actually
gosh.
cute for everyone to like bond. To get used to the new life that's about to happen for them.
Oh yeah, my son's gonna go crazy because he is such a mama's boy. So I'm afraid to see what happens with him. But the other girls know, so they're fine. But we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're not on our Patreon, join us. We have 2 additional episodes. But we love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Frangiola, and I'm the host of your new favorite podcast, Cover to Cover. Each week on Cover to Cover, I scour the world's newspapers to bring you the craziest stories in fashion, music, pop culture, food, you name it, we give you the comedy angle on all of it. If this sounds up your alley, listen to Cover on the iHeart app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.